Hello student, बच्चा लोग. I'm Aarti Sharma. Welcome to my Geo classes. Geo Aarti class. Today my topic is our changing earth. So changing earth means what type of changes we see on the earth? Lot of changes. We see different type of demographic changes on the earth. The change may be internal by the internal forces, the forces which work inside the earth, and the forces which are active on the earth, that is external forces. And third thing, by the human activities too. The human beings are making 4-lane roads, they're making bridges, they're cutting the forest. So that also changes the face of the earth. Now, first of all, I am taking up the internal force. Internal forces are mostly of the two types. That is, two type means that volcano and earthquake. So, volcanoes and they bring the sudden change in the earth. We see the sudden changes like it was earthquake. So there's a massive destruction on the earth. Lot of people die in that. The demography changes. The roads they turn to their sides. River changes its routes, and lot of destructions and lot of casualties on the earth. So that is the sudden change which we see on the earth, and done by the internal forces. And the second one is the external. External means the changes brought by the this natural agency, what we call the agents of gradation. नेचर जो होती है हमारी वो बिल्कुल बैलेंस रखती है. इट मे इरोड्स इरोजनल वर्क एक जगह इफ इट इरोड्स दैट्स अदरवाइज इन द अदर वे वो डिपॉजिट भी करती है. That makes the nature makes the balance, not like the human beings. They're just destructing and destructing for their development. Though it's very necessary for the development, but it deteriorates our environment a lot. Now, about the natural forces which work on the earth are river, and snow in the snow areas, and like glaciers, how they make changes on the earth. And then in the desert area, how wind action changes the face of the earth. And sea waves on the beaches and the sides. On the one side they erodes, and the other side they deposit. The balance is always there if it's the nature, if it's external force. The most wider form which we see the external force is the river work, which is very common. Today I am taking up this small change external force that is done by the river action. River कहाँ से इतना हमें पता है. The origin of the most of the river origin is from the like Gangotri from Ganga river, and they come from the hilly areas. When on the hilly areas, the river when it comes, it is very with force due to the slopy surface of the earth. They come with a very speed, making many features. कैसे फीचर्स बनाती है क्योंकि वो बहुत तेज स्पीड से चलती है. And the down cutting action of the river is the prime feature. It erodes its bed, and the other side the mountains they have steep walls making like U-shaped valley, V-shaped valley, I-shaped valleys. You can see in the if you ever gone to the hilly areas तो आपने देखा होगा the rivers small होते हैं लेकिन साइड पे जो माउंटेन्स होते हैं वो बिल्कुल स्टीप होते हैं. So that is the change done by the river in the hilly areas. Then comes the when it also we see the many waterfalls on the hilly areas. Actually, waterfalls comes happens when there is a combination of hard and soft rock. Soft rocks are eroded, and hard it falls from the hard rocks to the downward. It falls from the hard rocks to. So it makes waterfall, cascades. It all happens because of the speed of the river. But as it comes down the river in the plain, the speed of the river slow हो जाती है river और river broad भी हो जाती है, चौड़ी भी हो जाती है, और जो इरोजनल एक्टिविटी माउंटेन्स में थी वो इरोजनल एक्टिविटी भी थोड़ी कम हो जाती है और सेडिमेंटेशन शुरू हो जाती है और वो चीज़ नहीं रहती, रिवर जो थोड़ी स्पीड स्लो हो जाती है एंड इट्स मूव्स इन द सर्कुलर मूवमेंट विच वी कॉल द meanders. It make meanders. It doesn't flow like in a very speed way. It flows like in a circular movement. Sometimes oxbow lakes are formed. Now what are oxbow lakes? When we see the meanders, the meander in the meanders what happens? The river is doing the erosional activity also and depositional activity also. When the meanders are separated from the main river due to the erosional and depositional work simultaneously, it becomes oxbow lake, like what we call there are a lot of oxbow lake in the Brahmaputra river, which they call Tal, and also Kabar Tal in Begusarai district of Bihar. They are the example of oxbow lake. So it happens just because the speed remains low and the river moves in a circular movement. In the now what we see in the rainy season, when the rivers are overflooded, it crosses banks, it makes floodplains which are very fertile, and these areas are very good for growing rice and other things. Then comes the most important is the last time when it mingles with the oceans. Now the river becomes so small because lot of tributaries, like if we Ganga, we see that the tributaries coming from Jamuna, then tributaries like Tista and Betwa and all coming from this areas from the south, Malwa Plateau. So a lot of sediments and the things are dumped into the main river. They tribute the water, sediments and everything to the main river. So the river is overloaded when it comes to the near the ocean. So becomes very difficult for the river to move in the single stream. एक single stream में river नहीं चल पाती है क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा sediments उसमें हो जाते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा overload हो जाती है, जिसकी वजह से it distributes. That means उसकी कई शाखाएं बिल्कुल triangular shape में हो जाती है, what we call in Greek letter, that is called delta. Almost every river make delta in the world except 2 or 3. In our country only Tapti and Nanda, they don't make delta. Otherwise all the river make deltas, and the largest is the Ganga Brahmaputra delta. We also call it the Sundarban delta because of the Sundari domination of Sundari tree. That is because of which Sundari tree we call it Sundarban delta. So this is the journey of river, how it changes the surface of the earth right from the beginning, from mountains to when it comes to the ocean. So I have tried to explain you the journey of river from source to the end when it empty out this water in the ocean. So next I will be taking up the this here snow, how it changes the surface of the area, changes of the land, it makes changes on the earth in my next episode, in my next lesson. Till then, bye.